guys, if you're new here, my name is Kelsey and I am a nail tech. I am going to be making videos of all different sorts of content. Today's video is going to be me removing an old set and putting a new one on. So if you want to see how I took my client's nails from this to this, then keep on watching. Thanks. Okay guys, here's a better look at what her nails look like. They weren't shaped super great, they weren't filled in the best the last time she got them done, and they were starting to kind of curve down and lose their shape. So we're just going to go ahead and remove everything. I personally don't do soak-offs, I just remove everything with my E-file. So that's what you see me doing here. So I'm just going to remove all of the product and I'm going to cut her length down as pretty much as far as I can, just to make sure that we can get the Gel X tips to fit on properly. Typically when I'm removing this way, I don't take everything off because of course you don't want to be taking these carbide bits on the natural nail because that would cause a lot of damage. So I usually leave just a thin layer that's not going to give me any trouble with putting the Gel X over top. For her pointer finger here, she already did have a Gel X tip put on the last time, so I just decided to leave that one and I removed all of the lifting that there was just so that way we could get a good adhere with the fill-in. And again, you just want to make sure you're being really careful with this part and only just getting that lifting off. You don't want to hit that natural nail with the carbide bit because that would cause damage to the natural nail plate. So I'm just being really gentle around that lifting and getting up what I can without hitting her natural nail. If you struggle to do this, like if you're a beginner or something like that, you can always get most of it down and then go back over with just a hand file and get the rest of the lifting off that way too if you're worried about damaging the nail plate. You can kind of tell looking at her thumb here how she's lost some structure because these are mostly her natural nails grown out to that length. And our natural nails, as they get longer, tend to grow downwards. Sometimes people's side walls don't come down into like a nice curve that gives good structure. So we just have to watch out for that when you have a long-nailed client that's growing their natural nails out. I did cut out doing most of the prep on her natural nails. If you'd like to see a video more in depth about how I do my prep, then definitely let me know in the comments and I can make a video on that. But here I'm just shaping up the natural nails just to get them more rounded again, so that way we don't have any issues with the Gel X tips covering properly, because I don't want any of her natural nail kind of like hanging down from those or anything like that, because that would give us a higher chance of lifting. Alright, now all of the prep is done, I'm going to go in with my base coat. This is from Magpie, it's their Get A Grip base coat. I use this as the base layer for all of my surfaces. And now we're putting the Gel X tips on. And I'll do this pretty much the same way that you see everybody else do it when you're watching someone do Gel X. I don't do a whole lot of Gel X anymore. I don't have a lot of long nail clients. I only have like 2 or 3. And typically if I'm just like, if they break one and I'm just repairing one, then I'll just use a form to fix it. But since we were taking everything off, I just decided to go this route to make the process a little bit quicker. And to prep these before I put them on, I did use Apres acid primer that they sell, specifically for etching the inside of the tips. So I did that first before putting them on, and then I used Magpie's Full-On Gel, which is for their full tip system. I use their tips every once in a while too. They honestly work the same way. I just went with Apres this time because I had the right sizes in the length and shape that she wanted. Once I get on all of those, then you do a full cure in the regular light, and now I'm just going in with just a fine tipped bit to kind of clean up the cuticle area, make sure that it's blending well. If there's any spillage or anything like that, I can get that off too. But you definitely want to be careful of that as well, because we don't want to be causing any allergies. And this is my favorite hack that I saw from another nail tech, is going around with a brush and some acetone and kind of scrubbing that into the cuticle area. It helps melt those tips into the cuticle even more, and I think it definitely gives it a much more finished look, and it makes the grow out a lot nicer. Then I'm just going to completely buff the tips all over, just to make sure that my gel adheres properly. And here's where I'm going to do things a little bit differently. Most people just go straight in with their polish at this point, but I'm going in with a hard gel just because this client is a little extra hard on her nails with her job. And while I do like the structure and stability of just the full cover tips, I just wanted the extra insurance with the hard gel. And so we did that. I built it up a little bit more and gave her a little bit more of an apex. I did struggle with this process a little bit just because I'm not used to hard gels. Since I don't have a lot of long nail clients, I tend to use more soft gels, and they self-level a lot nicer for me. So this was a little bit tricky and it took me a little while, but the nice thing with the hard gel is since it's thicker, it doesn't move around as easily. So I was able to do her first 4 fingers, cure those, and then do the thumbs separately, and that worked out really nicely. I'm just going to go in and do my finish filing. I sped this up a good bit just because it took me a little while, but I mostly focus on the sidewalls and the cuticle area to make sure everything is blended and to really refine that shape. Make sure there's no like divots in the nails anywhere, and just clean everything up before we start painting. Okay, now for the fun part. I'm going in with Magpie's Velvet Top Coat, which is their matte top coat. I'm going to go all over the whole nail, and then when I cure this, I'm only going to cure it for about 45 seconds, not quite all the way through, because we're going to put pigment powders on top, and I like it to be not fully cured because I think it helps the pigment stick a little bit better. With the pigment powders, I am going in with a purple, a pink, and a blue, and I'm just kind of randomly putting them on wherever with an eyeshadow brush that I just got from Walmart, I think. And I'm going to just, like I said, randomly put it on, and we're gonna blend them together. It's gonna look a little bit crazy at first, but trust the process. Once I get them all on where I want them, I'm going to clean off the brush as best I can, and I'm going to go back in and try to kind of ombre them together just by, rubbing that eyeshadow brush in pretty much all over the nail, just to get them blended a little bit, make sure that there's no super harsh lines. This glitter from Light Elegance. I'm pretty positive it's pears and pastries, and when I went to look it up on their website, I could not find it, so I'm assuming that it's discontinued. But we're just gonna go in all over the nail with that. And once we have the glitter cured, I'm going to go in with Magpie's Chrome It top coat. This is their top coat to put chrome on. It's supposed to be more chip resistant. So we're going to put that to the test because I haven't used it for all over chrome yet. So I'm really hoping that it holds up because I think any other nail tech can understand how frustrating chrome can be. I'm going to put that all over and cure it for 60 seconds. And now this is like the star of the show, is the Magpie Chrome in Anona. And I think it really kind of like brought this set to life. It helped blend the colors a little bit more. I think it really made the glitter pop. And this was my favorite part of the whole process. And another tip for the chrome is to etch the ends, the free edges, a little bit before you put anything else over top. It kind of gives your top coat something to adhere to and stick to. So I just file all the free edges and then dust everything off, the extra chrome and the dust. And normally here I would go in with like a clear like builder gel or something like that. Honestly, you can use anything. Like here I'm using the base coat again, just to give an extra layer of gel over that chrome to help prevent some of the chipping. So after curing that base coat, I'm just going to go back in with my top coat again and give that a full cure, and that's the finished product. If you made it this far, drop a heart in the comments and to let me know that you liked this video, and if there's anything else you want to see, let me know as well. Thanks for watching. Bye.